What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to the episode 4 of my team career mode for the Spanish Grand Prix. As you can see, we're putting activities now to help our team throughout this week for the race. We have got 1,000 over 1,000 resource points. We've got 400 for a problem last episode, which I do not remember actually. Oh yeah, we had an ERS problem. Don't worry. Yeah, we got 1,193 resource points, and we are going to use those probably not in the aerodynamics. I think we're one of the better ones for aerodynamics. Maybe we got a major ERS upgrade coming in and a major chassis weight redistribution upgrade coming in. But we actually no, sorry, we're one of the worst for aerodynamics, so we're gonna do some upgrades on that hopefully. And yeah, there you go, a drag reduction, and also that's a major actually. Do you want to do the major or two? We're then going to go over to the powertrain department. Actually, no, we're going to get this really cheap durability upgrade. Simple. We didn't have enough resource points for anything else. Now we got a major upgrade coming in for this weekend. ERS upgrade. Major ERS coming in for this week. We are the second worst car. That's painful. As we send through the week, getting all the activities done, getting our weekly resources, and oh my god,
issue on the production line earlier this
no, why?
So the entire development
why?
failed. Any
major ERS upgrade has not gone on. I mean, we're the best in terms of ERS, but now it's just we can't do anything else. Put it back on the car, and we're gonna have to go straight into the race weekend with no upgrades in at all for the race. But of course, as you can see, reprofiled section of the circuit that we do have, so it's time to go to the race weekend. Looking forward to actually trying the new corner, because I hope it works very well on this game. Hopefully not too understeery, and hopefully you don't fly off the track so easily. But that's all we have to say. It's going to be a dry race. We are now the worst car with that upgrade failing, so that's not very good at all. After practice, we've got 1,300 resource points. We are going to invest that in the aerodynamics department, as we are very poor in that part. So of course we've already got the minor drag reduction on, so we're going to try get the major on, but apparently we can't do that because we didn't have enough money to upgrade our fabrication. So we are going to go to fuel efficiency. Maybe not. We are the best on that, so yeah, we're gonna do that. We only have to we might not do that actually. We're gonna do that. And a durability upgrade, which apparently I cancelled before. But so then that leaves us on 38 resource points. But now it's straight to go into qualifying. Here we are in Q1 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Our teammate has already gone out. Is already out. Sorry, for his qualifying runs. He is probably going to be gone by the middle point of the season, as he's been doing absolutely terribly. Not the best time to come out, but it's whatever. We're out. We're one of the last. I wouldn't say one of the last, but we're quite late on in the session to be going out. We simmed a good five-ish, maybe 6 minutes before we came out onto the track, and now we just need to warm our tyres up, ready for here's the newly profiled section. You can see the chicane there as we fly past it. You have to brake a little bit there. Well, you do actually have to brake quite a lot. We go down a gear, I think, normally, but now it's straight into our flying lap. We've got someone behind us, hopefully not using us for slipstream. Hopefully that Aston Martin is coming into the pits. They're still behind us as we come round final few corners. It feels very good, to be fair, going around the final corner, the final 2 corners. DRS open, and that puts us in 5th place. That should be fine, hopefully. Alonso was on a lap behind us, so we probably gave him slipstream all the way down all the way around. Carlos Sainz sets the fastest lap. in Q1. And now Fernando Alonso slows down as I try to slow down and let him through. Coming around on our slowdown lap. He's still going slow and he's come back into the middle. Oh! Carlos Sainz. Oh no. Oh. Right. Well, here you can see I slowed down Fernando Alonso to go through. And then he just goes straight back onto the track and Carlos Sainz fast approaching. He's also on his slowdown lap though. But he comes flying in. Here you go. What is Fernando Alonso doing? I mean, I get it that he slowed down for us, but I was slowing down for him. I was behind him. Surely he should just go at that point, and he's got a 5-place grid penalty for it at the end of the session. Now we're in Q2. I'm going straight out for Q2, coming around the final corner. It's very close on that exit there of the... what turn is it now? I don't even know. DRS open, though. We're going towards the line to start our lap. It is turn... where is it? Turn 13, I think it is. It's very fast, but it's also very hard to keep on track. But now we're coming through the first and second corner and into turn 3. This feels a lot better on this year's game, turn 3. Last year's game, it was very floaty through there. And now it's a lot easier. There you go. You have to brake quite a lot into that part. And then on the power as soon as possible or to the line. Second place out of 3 drivers that have crossed the line so far. But as we come back into the pits as we come out for our second lap, that is P7. We're going out just to be safe, hopefully, to stay in qualifying. Just warming the tyres up even more. Don't want too cold tyres. And now we're going again for our second lap in Q2, using as much of the curve on the outside as possible on 13. And then going across the line to start our lap. Only 30-ish seconds, 30 seconds left in the session. So we should have the best track possible in terms of grip. So that's good. Q2, of course, so hopefully we'll be fine. And as everyone's crossing the line, we are fine. We're in P8. We are through, so we can just abort this lap, which we have. We're already 4 tenths down as I come around that corner. So it was... well, we weren't that far off, I don't think. But Charles Leclerc tops Q2. We come through in P8. And not really a big name. Lance Stroll is out. And that is about it. Of course, Carlos Sainz is actually out as well after his crash. I don't know if he was out in Q1 or not. Because he set a lap time, so I'm guessing he's out in Q2. So that's one less person that we had to worry about. Now it's Q3. Hopefully with Carlos Sainz out of the way, we can get a good result. Of course, still 10 cars though qualifying, and George Russell has set the fastest lap as we come round into the final corners now to start our lap. Coming around the final corner and opening DRS across the line. We are starting our lap. We are the last person to start our lap, actually, well, to do a lap. We've started and everyone else has finished their lap, so this might be very difficult to get a second lap in, but we're going to try it. Because we need to get... I don't know if it will be possible. Hopefully it is, because coming around the final few corner... well, into the third sector. We've got 2 green sectors. We almost spun out there. Everyone else is in the pit lane now, so we're just coming around to finish our lap. We're in the gravel there, but we're going to keep going. Round onto the curbs. You don't really use that much of the inside curb, but DRS is open. And I don't expect this lap to be very good, and it isn't. It's 1.7 seconds off Oscar Piastri. But now, our second lap, 3 tenths up, 4 tenths, 5 tenths up, 6 tenths up in already. And it was a red first sector, but we gained almost a second in the middle sector, as you could see, with all the time we gained going through that. It's a purple middle sector, and now coming around the final few corners into the third sector, around this... well, I wouldn't say it was very difficult sector. Well, this part of the track isn't very difficult anymore. But now coming around the final corner, using as much pace as possible, all 4 wheels off the track. FIA, don't be looking at that one. As we come around the final corner, DRS is open. Where's it going to be? For the Spanish Grand Prix, we are 8th place. So a purple middle sector, but the first sector must have ruined it. George Russell is on pole position for the Spanish Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, who, if you've been watching, has dominated the start of the season, is not on pole position. Max Verstappen in P3 right behind. We're in P8. what can we do going into the race? It's meant to be sunny, so let's see what we can do. What messages do we have? Not very high % chance of rain, just cloudy though. So now we're going to check. Of course, we got the upgrades in. We've got quite a lot. We've got 2 major powertrain. We have fuel and also ERS upgrade major. So hopefully we can see a big jump in our teammates' performance as well, with him having a better car. So that's very good. But now, after checking everything, 7th in the standings, 9th for us personally. But now it's time to go to what could be a very interesting race, starting from 8th place, trying to grip onto the points. Let's go to the race.
So many eventful races here in Barcelona over the years. Do you remember Max Verstappen's first win on debut for Red Bull here in 2016? 2 years before, we had the dramatic coming together of Hamilton and Rosberg going towards turn 4. There's always a treat in store as we head back to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. George Russell will be in today's event in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Norris, the engineer, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Sainz, Joe, Albon, Bottas, Theo Pourchaire, De Vries, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Natalie Binkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, the regulations aren't new anymore, but the teams and the drivers are still coming to terms with them. I firmly believe it's also track specific. We've seen some wheel-to-wheel racing throughout the year. Some tracks lend themselves better to it than others. I'd like to see it at every race in the whole season. Is that too much to ask?
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
We're starting P8, so hopefully, as long as everything goes well, we should be finishing in the top 8, top 10. It's going to be mediums to hards though, and we're going to be going off to start our formation lap. It's P7 though, as Fernando Alonso of course had that grid penalty for crashing with Carlos Sainz in Q1 maybe. But now it's time to just warm up the tyres and keep the engine temp as low as possible, and just gain the knowledge of the track once more with heavy fuel load on. Hopefully we can get a good result out of a P7 start. Well, good race would be staying P7, maybe P6, but now we're coming around the final corner to come into our grid slot. We've got Pierre Gasly behind us and Oscar Piastri in P9. Lando Norris is ahead of us in P6 in the other McLaren, and Hamilton in P5. So doing the burnouts now, going towards the grid slot. How close can we get to perfect parking? It's very close to 0.2 meters. That's very good parking. But now we wait for everyone else to come across into their pit box. And now it's time for everyone to get ready. Revving the engines. It's 5 red lights to the Spanish Grand Prix. All the lights are out and we are underway. It's an amazing start. We're already past Lando Norris and we're side by side and we've passed him. And we have something's happened. We're on the grass, going 3 wide into turn 1. Perez has had a terrible start, but he's alongside Russell, and Verstappen's had a terrible start. Hamilton's had a terrible start. We're past them all. There's almost contact there, half spinning. Verstappen on the outside. We push him out, and now on the inside of us is Lewis Hamilton. He's trying to go down the inside of us. We go up into P4 in this race. We started P7. What an amazing start. Russell and Perez fighting ahead of us. Russell's gone up into P2, Perez into P3, we're up into P4. Hamilton and Verstappen are close behind us fighting, but it's Charles Leclerc who's retained the lead after Russell having a terrible start and almost being overtaken by us. He was down in P3, now Russell is in P2, and Leclerc leading by quite a lot. We're going to use some overtake to try, hopefully by lap 3, stay with this group ahead of us, the two drivers, Russell and Perez, hopefully to keep in the DRS when it's enabled. Though Hamilton only 5/10 behind us, so we're gonna, if we can get P3, I mean that would be amazing, but we're looking behind us all the time, so I hope that to see the threat of Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc, of course, in the lead, he sets the fastest lap. Verstappen gaining on Hamilton. We go across to make sure they can't overtake us, but into turn 1 they haven't done that, and they're still fighting behind them. It's still Hamilton though ahead of Max Verstappen, and still Russell ahead of Perez. They look very close to each other. Hopefully now getting into a rhythm. It's lap 2, hopefully getting into a rhythm, and now it's time to look at the race start. At the front it's George Russell with Charles Leclerc alongside him as the lights go out. It's a very slow start for George Russell. I think that's what helped us, and there you go, we dart all the way across the racetrack and onto the grass. It looks like Russell's terrible start bogged everyone down, and helping us, we darted across the track. We're side by side. There you go, we make it past on Verstappen, who then gets overtaken by Hamilton. The two ahead of us are side by side, but going into turn 4, this is a start from our POV though, from off board. You can see us starting across the track, like I said, side by side with the Red Bulls, now just side by side with Verstappen, overtaking Norris, who is being attacked into turn 1 by an Alpine, which is Pierre Gasly. Into turn 1 and 2, they're still side by side. There you go, we make it through. Although Hamilton does come back at us, like you saw, and he's still on the inside. He's got a nose there, so we're just giving him space, and then we cut ahead of him. Lap 3 though, going into turn 1, Perez and Russell. Perez is going down the inside of George Russell. Is he going to make this move stick? He's round the outside now, into the inside now. So realistically, it's best to be in the inside of turn 1. So then you get it into the inside of turn 2 as well. And it looks like Perez might get this move because he gets the inside once more for turn 4. And now he's on the outside for turn 5. Russell and Perez. This has gone on for a whole sector, and it's helping me, Hamilton and Verstappen all catch up to them. They're still side by side going into the middle of the track, and eventually Russell has backed out of the move, but now we're there with them both, and gonna be able to be dragged along in the DRS of George Russell, who might be able to attack Sergio Perez. But onto lap 4, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton going side by side down the straight. Red Bull should be very good down the straight, of course, but they're still side by side going into turn 1. People who are also side by side ahead is Perez and George Russell, but look at that, they're still side by side, Hamilton and Verstappen. But now this is our POV, lap 3 onto 4. This hasn't happened yet, so you can see then Hamilton looking down the inside of us almost makes this half spin. We are miles off the front 2 now. Hamilton, what are you doing? Breaking into turn 16 and coming out again with the DRS open. You can see them side by side, like we just said, yellow flags behind. As for Kevin Magnussen retiring, and Perez and Russell are going side by side, all the way pushed to the inside is Russell from Perez, and there's a little gap, and we're going to go for it, and we're side by side with Russell. We've come out in turn 3, we're still side by side. There's confirmation Magnussen is out of the race, but now Russell is side by side with us. We're going into turn 4, and we're going to make the move round the outside. We're trying. Perez all the time, they're gaining on us, and possibly not helping us try overtake Russell. And we've made the move up into the podium places for the first time ever in our racing history for the team. Perez is just ahead of us, 7/10. Russell now behind us from Max Verstappen, who did overtake Lewis Hamilton in the end, and we're going straight to a replay of that. So Here is the replay around the outside of George Russell. And now he stays there on the inside of us in turn 4. And going into turn 5, we now got the inside line. And you can see Verstappen and Hamilton just behind us now. And it's very close as Russell comes out. But now lap 6, Verstappen is overtaking Russell. And Hamilton's now trying to overtake his teammate. They're side by side, the two Mercedes, into turn 1. Hamilton and Russell, Russell and Hamilton. Russell seems to have lost another place. So Russell, starting on pole position, is now down in P6. And lap 6 now, you can see Leclerc leading by 3 seconds, but Verstappen is trying to take our podium place away. No, we're down to P4, which is still good for us. We're going to absolutely send it last of the late breakers. But there's a little bit of contact there, but Verstappen inevitably making his way through into P3. And we have lost our place. And we're down into P4 once more. So all of that amazing, all that excitement of overtaking Russell has been, well, completely thrashed by Max Verstappen within a few laps. But now it's time to get our head down and hopefully not be overtaken by Lewis Hamilton now. But lap 8, we are just about keeping DRS on the two Red Bulls, who are very close to each other now. Perez looking a bit slower than Verstappen, so hopefully that means possibly backing him up into us. But Hamilton just behind us. We're just about going to hopefully get DRS. 9/10 is the gap. We will get DRS, which will help us defend against Hamilton. But the two Red Bulls ahead of us are going side by side. I don't know if you can see that, but they are going side by side. And into turn 1, it looks like Perez has been overtaken again. And Perez, holding on to that P2 from Russell, has now been overtaken by his teammate, who seems to be on a charge in this race. Behind us, lap 10 though, two Mercedes swapping positions once more. Russell trying to overtake Hamilton. Russell on the inside of Hamilton. Hamilton now having the inside line. Russell now having the inside line for turn 3. And it's very close. P4, no, this is for P5 is George Russell now. Going into turn 4. They're still side by side. This is like George Russell's battle with Perez, but now it's been sorted in turn 4. Two Red Bulls are side by side once more on lap 14. We gained so much time on them into turn 1 and turn 2. They're still side by side. Perez has to back out. Russell trying to go down our inside in turn 3. That would have almost gone very badly for us. But lap 16, we're into the pits now, as well as Lewis Hamilton. It's time to come into the pits. Hopefully a good stop here will get us, hopefully get us ahead. Well, keep us ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who's also right behind us. Verstappen also into the pit lane, as well as Charles Leclerc, the race leader. That might shorten the gap onto the hard tyres though, for us and everyone else. We are out ahead of Lewis Hamilton though, and now it's straight back to the racing action, whereas we come out in P4 after everyone else has pitted. We've got a gap of 1.4. Perez is 1.2 seconds ahead on lap 18 of 33. We could try charge the gap down and hopefully overtake him. That would be very good, because again, that's podium place. Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap on his new hard tyres. We're coming around the corner, the last corner, and we come across the line, and we actually set the fastest lap of the race. So we are showing good pace to hopefully bring down the gap. But lap 4, Hamilton is going to overtake us, and Russell's going to try and do the exact same thing. So we could be going down all the way to lap P6. Lap 30, this is a sad sight where we've got DRS on Russell, but there's Teo Porcher, our teammate. We said we might have to replace him, but that's very depressing, isn't it? We're fighting for for P5 in this race, and our teammate we've just lapped. Lap 31, trying to keep DRS. We're trying to be tactical about this and overtake Russell as late as possible, because of course that Mercedes has the overwhelming power on us throughout the whole circuit. But we've got the fastest lap, we've got the DRS, we've got overtake enabled, we've got the slipstream. We're going to go, we're forcing him to the inside. We're going to take the racing line round the outside of turn 1 and make that move into P5 into turn 2. And now Russell, with 2 laps left, has to try overtake us. We'll try and put up the biggest defense of our career of 4 whole races. So that might not be very good defense. Russell, though, 5 tenths back after having... there's yellow flags behind us, actually. What's happened? It's Russell. Russell spun out. Lap 32, on to the last lap, though. And now we can just relax. 8 seconds is the gap behind us. And Russell has spun out. And now Russell's down into at least P8. Maybe even P9. So now we can just take an easy lap. And as we do, Max Verstappen has won the race. And we come home in P5, our best result of the season. But Max Verstappen has won the race.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over, and what a special race it was. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, what a race. At the end of the day, it is all about raw pace, and our winner had it in spades today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
Well, there you go then, we finished in P5, but dominant, well, Max Verstappen charging down, charging up the field. He started P3, was behind us at one point, but he's finished P1. He's stopped Leclerc's dominance at the front of the field. Sergio Perez in P3, we come home P5, Lewis Hamilton P4. There's confirmation Russell dropped down to 9th place in the end. Lando Norris in P8. Carlos Sainz in P6. Fernando Alonso P7. Daniel Ricciardo, oh my god, saw the Australian flag and thought it was Daniel Ricciardo. Oscar Piastri in 11th place, just missing out on points. Let's go to the standings then. Nothing's changed. Leclerc is leading, but only by 23 points now from Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen behind them. 18 points is the gap for Ferrari as Red Bull chase them down. We are still 8th and 7th in the constructors' standings. Our teammate 21st place overall. We will be trying to look for hopefully a replacement if we have enough money. But if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.